Hello and welcome to the AFL Auto Blends 3D car creation channel. This is the next in a series of the P1800 Volvo, a Blender tutorial series. And in this episode we'll be looking at loading Blender, which is quite easy, and getting blueprints into Blender. Now, if you haven't got Blender, type in blender.org into your search, and all you have to do is download the latest version. Okay, so once it's in, we go in and we select everything, press A and X, delete. Okay, now before we start, I like to set some preferences up. I put one called measure it in there, so we don't use that very often, but I like to put it in there, so it'd measure it. Also one called loop tools, so type in loop tools in the box, then make sure that that box is ticked, and then another one called node wrangler, and make sure that one's ticked, and lastly bolt factory, so add mesh for bolt factory. I'll be explaining how we use those throughout the tutorial, so don't worry about that at the moment. Okay, so just a thing about the Numpad and your orthographic views. It tells you here this is right orthographic, so a key thing to notice is that the green line here is the y-axis, the blue line is the z or z-axis. Okay, so that's keypad 3, number 3 on your keyboard. So that's the front view. Okay, you can also get them from here. Number 1 is the front view, and again you can tell that obviously the blue line is the z-axis and the red line is the x-axis. The next view we use is keypad 7, which is the top view. Now there's your y-axis and there's your x-axis. Okay, and then the last view we use is control and 1, which is the rear or the back view. So you've got your x-axis and your blue axis. Anyway, if we go back to 3, just another thing, when I'm organising my files in my file organizer, I've got file for working on, where you don't have to have that, but if we look here and find the Volvo, so essentially I've got 3 folders. I've got one for blend files, so you save your blend files as you go and put them in there. You've got your blueprints in there and reference images here. Then I've subdivided them into concept, which is concept cars based on the original, which probably do a version after this. Then we've got detail, which is car details with the boot off, the door off, the bare metal, etc. Just key things that you don't necessarily see when the car's in its complete state. And then the engine, bits of the engine, photographs of the engine. General, which is just your general views, and interior. So you could have chassis, other sort of components, lights, whatever you like, and I'll probably split those down as I go through the project anyway. Okay, the other important thing to note is as soon as you've created a door, an engine, a chassis, a light, you'll have various objects and whatever. It's best to put them into collections in the in this area, and you press right mouse button and press new collection, and then just retype the name. So I'm going to put one in called, then you double click it, backspace it out, and I'm going to call it blueprints. Okay, so I did in the last episode show you how to cut images up into GIMP and import them. I've decided not to use the ones I actually cut up, but what I'll do is I'll leave this at various stages, and you can just take a screen grab of those, so you don't have to do that if you've already done it. So Control and A, Shift and A, sorry, and add an image background. Now this is the left side, so we navigate to our blueprints section, which is here, and the blueprints that I'm going to use is this one. So side, so import that. So I've decided to use this. Now before we do that, press Shift and A and add a mesh cube. Now the mesh cube denotes the size of the car, and I did somewhere have the dimensions of the car. And it isn't that. Right. Where are we? So we go into Wikipedia. So I'll drag that one in. Right, so go into Wikipedia, open it up, and we're taking various, so we've got a 2.45 meters wheelbase, we've got a 4.35 to 4.4 meters long body, we've got a 1.7 meters wide car, and we've got a height of between 1.28 and 1.285. So I'll put that where I can see it, and then if you press N or drag that across, you get into the object's statistics. So at first just press 0 on these for the first one. And then in here, the Y dimension, because we're going to do a wheelbase for the moment, so that's 2.45. So 2.45. The height, and I'll go into wireframe mode. So press Z and choose wireframe. So the height is 2 meters. Sorry. The length is 2.45 meters. The width, which is the X dimension, is 1.7 meters, and the height is 1.285 meters. Okay, so if you press that again, so that is the box that we're going to fill the car from wheel to wheel, height and width. Okay, so first thing to do is to grab the image, and that will be highlighted with yellow around it. Go into here and type in side. Okay, drag that into, it's already in the blueprint selection, so just take that one out. I'll leave it there for the time being, because we're doing the blueprints. Now, we want the wheels. Oh, the other thing is the gizmos. So the gizmos, you click up here and go down to move there, and then you'll see so you can click on these and drag them. Okay, right, So grab the grab this and move it, and stick the wheels on the line. Now we'll grab this and move that up and make sure that that is on the line. Okay, so press Z and go to wireframe on that so we can see what we're doing. Now what we've got to do is get the center of the wheels on these lines here. Okay, so we grab this again and then we scale it in. Probably too much that. So move it across. So this is a matter of trial and error until you get it bang on. And that looks pretty close actually. And now that image needs to come down because it's not sitting on the. It's sitting on there now. Okay, so that's pretty well scaled in, but the roof is sort of higher than the than it stays. So we'll just go into edit mode and just bring these up until we're at the top of the roof. Okay, so now the dimension is 1.34. I'm not too fussed about it being a little bit higher. It could depend on tyres and all sorts of things. So we've got that now in a position and we don't want to move it. So click on it. Go into here, we want some more selection here. So click into here. We want that highlighted and we want that highlighted. Okay. So what we don't want to move that, so click that. Okay. So now we press, also whilst we're here on this image here, we do want to select it now. So before I make it non-selectable, we'll go in here, click on transparency and put this down to 0.5 so it's easier to view on your screen. Okay, there's a little bit of perspective there. If you look at the green line, it goes up through the tyre there, but it's not quite in line here. You can see that, so it's got slight perspective. Anyway, so now we can click that. Go into front view. So if we go into front view now, press Shift A, image, background, and we search for the front view. So what are we there? Front view. Import. Now I don't know why we're not seeing that. There's no reason why we shouldn't be seeing that. Bear with me a second while I get this. Right, let's go back a step. I don't know what I did wrong there. So if we just highlight this and delete it. Right, Shift and A, image, background, front, load. There we go. Okay, so we go down to here, transparency, 0.5. Okay, there we are. So we've got to scale that in. Scale, That looks roughly there. Let's bring it up. Don't forget we're putting it in this box. Bring this across. Not a million miles away, is it? Bring it down. So bring it down. And it just needs to go up a slight bit. So S, and just scale it, hold your shift key, just scale it slightly until it fills the thing. Now just pull it across. There's a nice line in the middle there, but you can see that's got perspective as well. So that's that one set, so that's good. So we lock that one and we call that one front. And lock that off so we can't see it anymore. You can make these visible in perspective as well by clicking that. Okay. So if we go to that, view in perspective, so there you go. Okay, so top view. So Shift and A, image, background, top. So we want the nose facing downwards. So we'll rotate it, I think it's -90, -90. Okay, so that's that done. We go into transparency and put that down to 0.5. And then we scale. There's something not quite right with the width there. Let's go back into that. X 1.7. So 1. That fills in alright. 7. It's the wheelbase, isn't it? Okay, right. So what we do now is go back to the front. Go back to the front. Go into edit mode. Grab this and bring it out. No, we still want that. So press E and Y. Right, 3. Let's see if that's worked. Yeah, A and Y, and bring it all the way back to the end of the bumper. Okay, now we do the same on the front. So B, drag that. E, Y, and drag it all the way. You might have to press the Y twice to make sure it's going in the right direction. And press there. Now press Z. So there's our box, okay, with our 2 image planes in. So we go back to the top view, press Z and wireframe. Now we need this car to fill the box, okay. So go into object mode, select the image, press S to scale, and just pull it up. Until it's about right, so that's about there. I'll drag this back a bit. Perfect. So that is not quite right, is it? Because of the middle bit. So I'm going to pull it over a bit. There you go, straight in the middle now. So that one we call top. And we take off that and click perspective. So now all we want now is the back. So we press Control and 1. There we are, there's our box right in the middle, and we press Shift and A. image background and back, and press load. Go into transparency 0.5. You can move that around to how you want and click perspective. Okay, now we're going to scale this. Scale again. I'm looking to just get that, bring that across to the center. Now, as you bring it back to the center, it shows you virtually how much you've got to scale it again. Bring that up so the tires are sitting on the floor. So we just need it to scale up a bit more. To about there. Bring it down. And that is about perfect. So with that done, we will call that back and take off visibility. So we've got now essentially our 3 views. So I will go into each view and leave the screen for a few seconds so you can screen grab if you wish to. So there's one. So let's fill the screen. So there's one. Front view. Side view. I'll press A and get rid of that. There's a side view. Control 1, which is the rear view. And lastly, the top view. Okay. Well, that went quite a bit better than I thought it would. You usually have more problems than that setting up blueprints. These are reasonable blueprints. The blue ones weren't really to my liking, but it's a good start. I'm really excited about this project, so I will do another one. I might even do one later tonight. It's 3:20 in the afternoon here. I don't work anymore. I'm retired, so this is a bit of a labour of love for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've seen it before, press the like button. It helps the channel in quite a lot of ways. But thank you all for watching. I'd do this if there was any one of you watching, so I just love doing it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you. Bye bye.